Have you ever wondered where doctors get their medication they prescribe you anytime you go in for the common cold, things of that nature? Anybody ever thought about that? Okay, well, here we are. All right, so this type of person is called a pharmaceutical sales representative. And has anybody ever seen one in person? They're fairly easy to spot if you know who they are. You can usually tell who they are by their appearance. They're usually the people that, whenever you're in a hospital or a doctor's office, they're the people that are very well dressed. You know, they're usually seen carrying, they're wearing a suit and tie, carrying a briefcase, or in a woman's case, very nice dress, usually a skirt, things of that nature. It's very eye-popping. It stands out, you know. And since their job is to sell a medication, who wants to buy anything for somebody showing up in a hoodie and a t-shirt? That's not going to make any sense. That just wouldn't be appealing to the eye. And that's why this look is important, because without that, like I said, nobody's going to want to buy anything from them. All right, the requirements of this profession. Like I said, they sell medications to doctors' offices and hospitals around the country. And their main job is to build relationships, so that way people will keep coming back to them. They'll call them and say, hey, what do you have in that's new? Things like that, like what do you have in for this, 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 and this? So that way when they go back, they can continue to close a sale and make a sale. Where is it? Medismo Technology's article on what doctors expect from pharmaceutical sales reps states, being a resource or a trusted advisor allows them to gain new levels of access and sales growth for their products. Like I said, relationships are very important in this business. Also, what they do is they prep for the sales. If they don't know what they're selling, how could they possibly sell it? It's the same thing with a car salesman. If you're going to try to sell a car and somebody says, oh, what kind of engine is it and how does it run? And you say, well, I don't know, it just looks nice. Nobody's going to want to buy that car. So you got to know what the medication is, what it's made up of, what the side effects are, and what's it supposed to do. Do they stay in one place? No, they do not. The main requirement of this job is to travel. So this could be by car, by plane. It really doesn't matter. It's whatever the company requires you to do to travel and make that type of sale. The Princeton Review's article on A Day in the Life of Pharmaceutical Sales Representative states, pharmaceutical sales representatives spend most of their business time on the road. So like I said, they spend a whole lot of time on the road selling. They fly a lot, things of that nature. Another reason why they're never in one place is because of their lack of job security. In this business, companies are constantly buying and selling each other out. So one of the main companies today is called Pfizer. They've had 7 or 8 different names over the past 10, 12 years. It's just one of those businesses where you're like, even though you've been there for 20 or 30 years, you're still going to have to reapply for your job later. So the job security is not very good. One of the upsides of this is that one of the downsides is it's very demanding, but it's also a very rewarding profession. So the stress on this job is a whole lot. You're constantly worried about who's coming in next to take your job, what are your sales for that month, what the quota do you have to meet, things of that nature. And like I said, job security is very bad. If you don't sell in this profession, you don't get paid. That's just how it is. Even if you're at a high-end or a low-end company, if you don't sell, you don't get paid. And I've also had a lot of personal experience with this. When I was in high school, we had to do a senior presentation on what we wanted to do with our life. And I had a lot of thought about it, and one of my family friends, his name is Kevin Gillian, he's the #1 drug rep in the southeast region of the United States. He works for Pfizer, and I learned a lot from him about job security and how it pays and what do you have to do in school. It's just one of those things where it just made me realize what kind of career I wanted to go into. So, more of it all is, now you know more about a pharmaceutical sales representative, and there you go.